and I still have infantry in the point, but he's got assault infantry in the point, so he's trying to take it. And here we go. My Puma flanks those people in the sandbags, blows them all apart. So most of his guys are dead. There's like one left with a machine gun. Granted, makes him very powerful, but still just one guy left. And I don't have the right, I don't have the middle, and I only have the left, so I'm not doing so hot. But like I said, I was super rusty, and it looks like he's repositioning his T-34 to attack the left, which is where my Puma is. And kaboom, he hits the building, thankfully. And I see the T-34, and I'm like, uh-oh, my Puma's getting shot at, so I get behind the building. And at this point, I figure it's time to seize the initiative. He's got a T-34 bearing down on my point. I figure he has assault infantry around. I think that turns out to be wrong. If you look at the minimap, he doesn't have any assault infantry left there. But I figure now is the time, while this T-34 is distracted and over on my left instead of in the middle, I'm going to take the T-34 out. Because I have a Puma, he has no infantry around to scout for the Puma, so I'm going to be able to flank his T-34. You see, he's moving in with some machine gun infantry, but boom, turret destroyed on the T-34. T-34 is screwed. It can still fire if it can aim its turret, but it can't aim its turret. Turret is destroyed. Has to move the chassis to get a hit on my Puma. I drive my Puma up so I can get a close shot on him. Main gun destroyed. T-34 is screwed. He's going to have to get out of there. Now I can get a point-blank hit and kill him. Unfortunately, my Puma is flipped over. T-34 drives into my Puma, knocks it over, engine catches on fire. So, for the record, the defenseless T-34 just killed my offenseful Puma simply by driving into it. And he doesn't even get hurt by the explosion. So, that is how my Puma offensive went against the T-34. You can learn a very important lesson there about how a Puma can kill a T-34 if it gets some good shots in and if the T-34 doesn't see it first. And you learn an important lesson about crazy things that can happen. So hopefully that was entertaining and enjoyable for you as it was for Lollybo when that happened. And so I'm pissed. I'm buying a tank that does not frickin' flip. I am buying a Panzer IV. I'm like, you know what? Let's see you flip this motherfucker. Because nobody is going to flip a Panzer IV except perhaps two Tigers firing simultaneously. But yeah, skirmishing going on all 3 points. A 1v1 really highlights how you have to split your attention. In 2v2s or 3v3s or larger maps, people really get focused on just taking 1 point, or even on taking 2 points. But a 1v1 like this, where we're all focused on trying to take 3 points, really makes you appreciate how much you can fight in all 3 points, how much you can split your attention, and how much micro it takes to fight on 3 fronts at once. But it is possible to do. You'll suffer for it, but it's possible to do. And I think if you force your opponent to fight on 3 fronts, they're at just as much a disadvantage as you. And you really want to be dictating the terms of the battle. You see infantry fighting and dying all sorts left and right. Here's my Panzer IV coming up, but you want to dictate the terms of the battle. If you fight on 3 fronts voluntarily, chances are your opponent's going to be fighting on 3 fights involuntarily or losing the game. Those are his only 2 options. So I really encourage people to spread the fight out as much as possible. Don't just get caught in a tiny little corridor of 1 point. Don't just focus on one little area of the map. You should really be always trying to flank your opponent, always trying to spread out your infantry, always trying to spread out your vehicles, always trying to get behind them, always trying to scout, look for opportunities, probing their defenses and stuff. He's got a submachine gun infantry squad on the right. I have bought a Luftwaffe squad and sent them to the left, the Luftwaffe being paratroopers, so things are looking pretty dire for me. It's getting near the end of the game, but I do have my Panzer IV in the middle. Since I took out his T-34, I didn't take it out, but I did damage it. I was able to get my Panzer IV into the middle, kill all the infantry, and send a submachine gun squad in to cap that middle, so that's very nice. And meanwhile, my Luftwaffe people are coming under fire. He's got assault infantry there, and those are tough to kill, but no, he's got submachine gun infantry, and those aren't tough to kill. They throw a grenade, which is not good, so that's going to hurt. But Luftwaffe are really good fighters. They're very nice with their MP40s, and even better with their FG42s. FG42, one of the best guns in the game, if not the best gun in the game. Maybe the STG-44 is better, but we're going to have a tank battle soon. T-34 is coming up on the middle, having been repaired. My Panzer IV is not even paying attention. Boom! And he fires, hull destroyed. Okay, that was not much of a tank battle, but it illustrates the brutality of Men of War, how your tanks can get taken out from a side shot with, you know, just out of nowhere. Kaboom! And just like that, my Panzer IV is dead. Might as well have been a Puma. But on the plus side, I was not flipped, and also on the plus side, my Pak-40 is still alive, so I'm shelling his T-34. He's trying to shell my Pak-40. We'll have to see who wins the fight in this one. I really don't know. I can't remember. So I'm sending my Puma over to the right. Did I already have a Puma over on the right? I think I died. I don't know. try to keep track of my Pumas, but this Puma's dead too. That's the second Puma I've lost on the right. I'm getting pretty frustrated. He's got an AT rifle actually killing the Pumas. AT rifle, very, very cheap. Very, very effective against light vehicles. It's pretty much the cheapest dedicated anti-vehicle thing you can build, and that can be a pain if your opponent is relying a lot on light vehicles. They will do almost nothing to tanks. If you get lucky, you're going to hit the tread of a tank and take it out, but otherwise not going to do much. So you see here I tell one of my Luftwaffe people to drop his submachine gun and pick up a machine gun, like an actual machine gun, a DP-27 or a DP-29 from the assault infantry, and then I tell one of my submachine gunners, or one of my Luftwaffe people, to pick up the body armor. So always pick up body armor when you get a chance. I bought a Stormtrooper squad at one point. Should have mentioned that. But pick up body armor. Body armor is one of the best possible things you can scavenge from opponents. Probably the 3 best things I think you can scavenge from opponents, unless you need ammo, and then in which case ammo is the best thing to scavenge. But the 3 best things I think are body armor, grenades, and medkits. Because body armor is going to make your people far, far more powerful. He's got his assault infantry charging my AT gun, so I tell my people to get off the AT gun, and then they fire, and they kill the guy. Body armor is going to make you far, far more resilient to all sorts of damage. Grenades are going to give you huge amounts of firepower. If you have a bunch of extra grenades because you've been looting grenades the entire time, you'd be amazed at how it can tip the infantry battle in your favor. If you just throw a grenade every time you're in a firefight with someone, you will win many, many more firefights than you would if you didn't throw a grenade. So scavenge grenades. And then third, scavenge medkits, because it helps to patch your people up after fights, and it can be the difference between winning a firefight and losing a firefight. So I buy a Panzer IV, and I'm charging with the Panzer IV. T-26 is hit by a Pak 40, but this game is over. So lollybo wins. I'm rusty. Goodbye.